Hey lads, took me 3 hours to get here. Well, I say 3 hours to me. Struggling everywhere. Anyway, got this great man Sean on with me tonight, and how's this for a start? Jay, how was your telly, Frank? It was great, absolutely great. And there's all the pints, scotches, and everything for me, me and the Guinness drinker there. Sean, Leader Whitbeard says, I drank the whiskies, I drank. That'll do me up the reds, absolutely. Evening Frank and chat says TW, yes, yes. Yusuf, not the greatest performance, but we'll take the 3 points. This ref was awful. You wouldn't cocoa. You wouldn't cocoa, Yusuf. And as Sean says, like and share the stream, folks. You'll never walk alone. And she says, good win tonight. I feel like we need a proper test now to see where we're at. I don't know about that. Some of the, I don't know. I'm going to bring Sean on now because to me that was frustrating. It really was. And I'm talking about, from our goal area, kicking us about. And what's that all about? What do you think, Sean?
I didn't see the game, Frank. I was curling.
I'll push your asses down that mountain.
I was in the curling world championship. You probably had more entertainment watching the curling match than that.
Yeah.
Not a great first half. Not very convincing. Should have really killed off the game a lot earlier on. I was finding it very difficult to stay awake, and that's no disrespect to the lads. I just thought we could have done a lot better. Obviously the first goal taken very well. Some fantastic passing, nice assist by Salah, and a well taken goal by McAllister. I think if McAllister didn't get his foot to it, I'd say Diaz would have. He was close, but then we just kind of sat back a little bit and
what was that all about? That's what I thought. The first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, they're going to destroy these. Because they were panicking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we just went back a little, and the passing was horrendous, in my opinion. Our passing, that is. And it was going to them, but they were picking up. And we could have scored a couple, they could have easily have scored. And this is what I said. I said to Jay, phone me up at half time. I said, just imagine if we were playing a far superior side. I said though to George the other night, last night it was, I said, there are no mugs. And we went out as though, just my opinion, we're going to beat these easily. Just like when we beat AC Milan, at the 7-0. Nothing like that at all.
Well, I predicted 3-0. I mean, the passing was good leading up to the goal, but then after that, it was dreadful, as you said. It was really, really sloppy.
Well, I predicted Mo Salah to score, McAllister to score, and we win 2-0. Do you believe that?
As about as much as you believe me being a curling champion.
Absolutely. But you do get them, unfortunately. Can I go through a few comments?
Yeah, sure.
By wonderful people. But as T says, good win tonight. I feel like we need a proper test now to see where we're at. I'm not answering that. Yusuf Samikas got a yellow card for winning. That was ridiculous. He won the ball. The referee was absolutely woeful. Woeful. He won the ball and got booked for it. I just thought I couldn't understand the ref. Just couldn't understand him at all. And the sideline says, big up Frank and everyone in the chat. You're not coming on sideline. We're banning you for being cheeky. Big up Sean and the Doc.
The Doc.
Can you get him on? No.
I don't know. I should be able to. Yeah, I should be able to, because we have that WhatsApp group.
Yeah. And the Pride says Mo's goal. We'll be talking about that, lads. We'll be talking about that. And she says, agreed, Frank, but I feel a big test will help us going forward. Because easily, yeah. But remember when we played Manchester United after the Brentford and Ipswich games, you know, we were shit. Well, I wasn't. You know, the chat was saying, well, this is the big test coming up against United on Old Trafford. And we battered them 3-0.
Yeah.
We destroyed them, you know, so. But, you know, it's a good comment. Yeah. We get very complacent, says Yusuf. Let them into the game in the first half. We did. We allowed them in. What did you think of Italiano? You know, the coach?
I don't know, really. I mean, I
very
he was
animated.
very vocal anyway on the sideline. Yeah. So, you know, I think he's not a bad coach. They're not doing too bad they were 13th in
13th in their league.
But they're a fairly kind of strong side. They've had a few departures, but I don't know all that much about them, only from just what I've heard tonight and stuff. But I think we really, really made them look a lot better than they were.
Well, George Scott last night said to me, you know, what you watch Serie A, what are they like? I said, well, they're no mugs.
Yeah.
They're no mugs. And they're not. They're not. And as TW says there, you know, a bigger test coming. That bigger test is in 1 week. And that's at the end of the month, I think, in December, which is Manchester City and Real.
Yeah.
Bigger tests.
Jesus.
And Anfield, both of them. We can't be doing what we were doing tonight and even last Saturday, which was absolutely ridiculous. And James A says, I'm not letting that sideline on. He's too cheeky anyway. So, but I will bring him on in a minute after the day. Evening, Frank. Sean Chat, just getting to Birmingham now. Long day in London. Missed the game. Mrs. is driving home. I watched the Yankee doing a reaction on the YouTube about Liverpool. You're famous in the USA, mate. Hey, you sure know?
Me?
I don't know this.
I'm famous in the USA.
I haven't a clue. But this fellow is famous in Canada.
Well, he is famous in Canada. Big up, guys. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
You know, we're all made up, you know, and delighted with the win. You know, it's 3 points, as one of the lads said, albeit that, you know, we weren't great tonight. But the 3 points count. And that's the main thing. But we, you know, when we dissect the game, when we analyse the game, this is what will come out about playing around in our area around there. And, you know, causes chaos, I'm being honest. It causes chaos. But anyway, that's what now. Yeah, let's see. Evening, Frank and Sean. Evening, Frank, Sean, chat. Just getting to Birmingham now. Long day in London. Missed the game. Mrs. is driving home. I watched a Yankee doing a reaction on YouTube about Liverpool. You're famous in the USA. Yeah, it's Scouse not English. I was the main person on that. It's a documentary. And funny enough, I got a message today, an email of a student in Leeds, and they said, "Can we interview you about Scouse not English?" So I went, "Yes, sure, no problem." Anyway, I sent the message, the email they sent to me. It wouldn't go. It wouldn't go, unfortunately. So I don't know what'll happen there. Jason will sort it out, I think. And the Midnight Toker, Arne Slot set the record tonight for the most wins in the first 8 games for a Liverpool manager. Even in he's getting at me, He's always writing me up. I'm made up. Mo got his record,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll go to you. I'll go to you, side. Yeah, I'll go to you. What did you think? And then to you, Sean. When Mo Salah, took that ball, and I'll just say it from there, and his goal. What did you think about that, side?
Well, I'm gonna try my best to be not cheeky tonight, but unfortunately, it's really tough, because we had a lot of cheeky results. Like I'm shocked. Like after the Liverpool game, I was looking at the other results for the other games happening at the same time. Wow, Benfica 4-0 against Madrid. Real Madrid lost to Lille 1-0.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, Aston Villa beat
yeah.
Bayern Munich 1-0.
What?
Barca, he beat.
Yeah. So okay, so for Salah, so if you ask someone that didn't watch the game and they just saw the result, they would say, "Oh, Salah is man of the match, 1 assist, 1 goal." But boy, oh boy, a lot of bad passes, man, a lot of bad passes.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
watch the game, it will be like really tough how to rate Mo,
yeah.
right? But anyway, it was a really nice goal from him, nice assist as well. I'll take them any day. He can do all the bad passes in the world that he wants. If you keep these goals and assists coming, I'll take them.
Well, he broke another record, first player in to get to 6 goals in games. Each European game, and he's beaten the rest. And when it comes to percentage, goals and whatever it is, I don't know what it is. We've had some great, fantastic goal scorers right from the 60s and Roger Hunt right up to Robbie Fowler and Fernando Torres, and he beat a lot of them. It's incredible what he's done. He's incredible what he's done. What did you think of the goal there, Sean? And the build up to it, and also the assist that he gave to McAllister.
As I said earlier, the passing that led up to the first goal was incredible, and the pass and his vision was just incredible for that goal. It really was. Um, the goal he scored. I mean, if you give a player like that enough room in the box, that's what he's going to do. And he will take them all day long. And majority of the time, he'll try for a goal like that. We've seen him, curl one in, and it was beautifully taken, beautifully taken. You know,
Well,
really.
right. So it's like I thought Gravenberch was man of the match in my opinion because he was ever. I'll tell you who else had a good game. Maybe people, especially with like Soka. I think a player that ran his heart out all over the pitch and everything was Sabozlai. Sabozlai was
Yeah,
everywhere. I thought he played well. I really did.
he was disappointed coming off. You could see that in him.
Yeah, but he was really sweating and,
Mm.
he gave us all. But it was only for the last 4 minutes. And I was glad that he got a little rest. And Curtis came on and young Bradley. And they done nothing wrong either.
Mm.
And as T says, what a goal from Mo. He just keeps going. Is right. and ref was a soft lad. And Richard Hutchinson says, "Hi Frank, JK, George, and pal. George is not here. How are you all? Bless up everyone. LFC versus Bologna nil. Ref is useless. Next up, the Palace. You'll never walk around." And the Midnight said, "Yeah, he was awful. Of course he was." Midnight, you're not going to have a go at me about Szoboszlai, are you? Please don't have a go. And their manager was like Klopp on the side. Like, I think he was worse than Klopp. I really do. Imagine Mbappe having yeah, Bologna's chances. Well, it was a bit, it would have ended up 5-2. You're so right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it like Mbappe or, but it could have easily ended up 5-2. The documentary you was talking about, Lobscouse, Churchill sending frigates up because of asking for a pay rise and no investments into the great city of ours to Hillsborough. Americans know you, Frank. Oh, thank you, James. Thank you. I'm glad he answered that because that was.
Yeah, you had me panicking. I was like, Christ, do I have to apply for another Baron order? I was like, Christ, what have I done to be famous in America?
I was walking along one of our streets one day, and I had my students with me, and I was showing them a certain thing, and this lady crossed the road, and she said to me, "Hello, Frank," and I went, "Hello," and she said, "Guess where I'm from, Frank?" And I said, "Australia." She said, "Yeah." Yes, she said, "I can't believe that I'm actually meeting you. But it's things like that. But I can't go to America, unfortunately. Anyway, James, hello, Frank. Oh, yeah. Bologna were very good. Good press, but we were good first 25 minutes. Then we started to be very complacent. Shout out to Dombo. He was very good, but won. Thank you, James MK, because that's what I've been saying. He was everywhere. What did you think of Szoboszlai tonight, side?
Szoboszlai, I think he got some redemption today. I think
Yeah,
he played for himself before he played for the team.
yeah,
Um, he did really good today. A lot of his covers back running. It was good, was spot on. But see, one thing, it kept happening during the game, on and on. We attacked the zone. I think they call it the 14, which is a
yeah,
little square right in
yeah,
the middle, in front of the 18. He
yeah,
attacked it twice, at least. McAllister attacked it, Gravenberch as well. Salah scored from there.
yeah,
So I think, if he just sometimes take a shot, you know,
yeah.
he does pass the ball too much up front. Sometimes I think he does have that in him. He's a good shooter, and I think he had at least one chance. If he took it, he might have scored as well.
Yeah. Well, what I couldn't make out, Sean, as well, a few times, it never happened once, but a few times, we had the ball in their half, and it ended up with Allison.
Yeah,
People think that, but we're just trying to analyse the game, that's all. And when it goes back to Allison, they converged on us.
mm.
And that's where a little bit of, you're out in your mouth, actually. Well, I was saying, what are you doing?
That
What
passing
the,
from the back, or that build up from the back, Frank, is very dangerous, and we gave them a few opportunities there. But I mean, also our decisions in the final third was a little bit. I mean, Diaz, he ran and nearly got past the defense, and then went all the way back to the midline,
yeah,
which was quite funny to see. But just some of the decisions, weren't really on point. As I felt we could have, really killed off the game earlier on. And I mean, it looked like we were going to absolutely hammer them at the start. But there you go.
Well, James, I say is their set pieces sounds it's scary on the radio. I wouldn't listen to the radio. The radio, if you listen to a game on the radio, oh, blimey, I wouldn't do it, honestly. Plus, they were saying Diaz should have scored. He ran across the 18-yard box without pulling the trigger. He couldn't because every time he was looking up, someone was in front of him. And, you know, I remember that incident very well, James. I really do. And James carries on by saying, Americans are doing a lot of reactions to your documentary, Frank. Oh, that's nice.
Big up.
That's nice. I might show it. I might show it. Plus, watching TNT, this is a man's game, says James MK. Oh, thank you for mentioning this. This woke feminism thing where the women on the panel outnumbered the men analysing the game. That's my opinion. I'll tell you what really pissed me off. You know, this girl, Rachel something, Finnis something. And she was talking and she was laughing. And the cop was singing, You Never Walk Alone. And she was saying, oh, you know, this is what it's all about. And she kept on talking instead of
talking, yeah.
Let them everyone hear You'll Never Walk Alone by the cop. She was pissing me off.
She kept saying, Frank, and they're about to reach the crescendo or something like that.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Just let them sing, for God's sake.
See, I put my TV on mute and I just either listen to myself or I swear to God, man, I'm done with that.
Oh, you know, and listen, you know, we're not sexist or anything like that,
Definitely.
but to have, you know, these analysts outnumber the fellas. I'm not saying they don't know about football, but, you know, give us a break.
Well, there's some lads that talk about football that they haven't a clue about football, including, you know, journalists and people online. So it doesn't stop them. But yeah,
no. And you see Crouch, the size of him to these two girls.
Massive, isn't he? The big horse teeth on him.
His legs were bigger than them. You look at his legs; they were bigger than them.
Yeah,
you know, he's taller than them. Oh, ridiculous. And the Pride says, I'm going to throw a duck in the sea and vote Robbo as man of the match contender. Unpopular, probably. What would you say to that side? You know, what James has said, Gravenberch sounds like he's flying. No, hang on.
Robbo.
Right, yeah. About I'm going to throw a duck in the sea and vote Robbo as man of the match contender. Unpopular, probably.
Not really. I kind of liked what I saw from Robo today. In general, you know, he had maybe like one or two bad moments, but our left side defending was most of the time was spot on. The right side we had some difficulties at the beginning of the game.
We did.
Yeah. So.
What about that, Shauno?
I've always had a soft spot for Robbo. I've always liked Robbo. Always liked him. You know, he's, you know, obviously he's Scotland's captain. He's, you know, vocal and he influences the game. You know, obviously his pace isn't that great now, but I've always liked him.
Well, the point is, we're all knocking what the Pride at Merseyside, Callum says, you know, where he says, I'm throwing a duck in the sea and saying that, Robbo. No, we're not going to, no, we're not going to agree, but we're not going to disagree.
No.
Which is a good point. And Midnight Soca says, he's now, Darryl mentioned before about Gravenberch, he's wonderful. And turns out is what we needed. That's what the Midnight Joke says. And Steve, you never walk alone. Let's go, champs. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. And I think this is in my comments. Carries on by saying, I heard the crowd was like a snooker final. Oars becomes first Liverpool manager to win 8 out of 9 of his first games in charge. That's no mean feat, says James.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
No mean feat.
Absolutely. Credit where credit is due. I mean, he's after taking on big boots to fill, you know. It's not easy to fill the boots of Jurgen Klopp and what he meant to Liverpool and the players, and he's come on and he's done a great job with the team that he has. Whether it's Klopp's team or not, you know, he still has to implement his style of football, and I think he's changed it a little bit, kind of tweaked things. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and start saying let's put up a statue in Anfield just quite yet for him, but so far so good.
Okay. Well, GK's just sent me a message, and he said, "You're all talking nonsense." No, he didn't. He just said, "I've been watching the match out." He said, "I'm trying to get home, so I'll pop on late."
He was watching my curling championship. That's what he was doing.
Well, that's what he said. You know.
Yeah.
Sean O'Can curl. He's absolutely useless.
Curl it like Beckham.
Curl him like Benzer, yeah. Yeah, I know. I've got an answer. I'm awfully sorry, boys. Yeah, look, let me just go. Oh, Christ. Let me go. Where is it? I've seen a cracking little comment.
People talking about the atmosphere in Anfield tonight.
Yeah, the atmosphere. What did you think of it? I thought it was all right. What do you think, Sean?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to kind of. I kind of did what Sideline did and kind of muted the commentary a little bit, but I was kind of watching Sideline's watch along while watching the game. So I didn't really kind of hear the crowd all that much. It looked fairly at the start. It looked like it was a full capacity. So I don't know. People will go on about the atmosphere. I've never really.
There's nearly 60,000 there tonight. Nearly 60.
Well, that's But look, it goes back to the tickets, and if they make it more accessible and more affordable for people will turn up.
Yeah. I just had a message there. And he said you've got hang on. McAllister has suffered a knee injury.
Oh, for God's sake!
There we go. And what did you think of Chiesa being injured?
Me or Sean?
I'm just looking at I'm looking at Chris here with a comment here, and I'm trying to not go off on one here. What was your question, Frank?
No, I'm just saying, about Chiesa. And what I said when we were signing him, I'll keep saying it, it was an appeasement signing to their fans. And I said right along, even George said last night, yeah, you did, you said it to me, that he's an injury-prone player. And he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's really disappointing, and it's really annoying that we invest in these injury-prone players just for the sake of it. We knew that he was injury-prone. Juventus weren't going to get rid of a player like that, and from what I've heard, Juventus were dying to get rid of him.
They were.
So
I know it for a fact, to be honest. I really do. And Chris says, as Steve Macker said before the game, Jurgen left the squad as a champion challenging side. 1 year on, Arnold Slot does not have a lot to do with it. Tonight, the Reds were often brilliant, but, and I think that's about, I really think that's about, the shenanigans at the back and whatever. Wasn't sold out for tonight's game. I wanted tickets and I couldn't get them. I'm being honest, midnight.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Jay and I were talking at half time, and we were going on about the digital tickets, which is a bloody nuisance. And he told me that some lads was actually travelling over from Yorkshire somewhere, and he gets to the front, and he was saying to the lads in front of him, "Listen, can I get my phone's dying?" And by the time he got to the turnstile, his phone died, and he wouldn't let him in. That's the danger. And that most probably that hasn't only happened to him. It's happened to others, I suppose. And
that's sad.
It is sad. And that's what I don't like. Hang on, Chris says, but as often loose credit to Bologna. Like Wolves, Saturday made a game of it, and were in some ways unlucky not to get more from the game.
I'll give them some credit, but not all the credit like that much.
No. Did you see what was his name? I forget his name. The number 33 Mandarin or Mandarini or someone like that. And
Miranda.
Yeah, that's him. And he went down, rolling in agony. And I don't know who it was. I don't know, it was McAllister, or Mo. And he's, banging the floor and everything. And what was that all about? And then gets up and gets the foul and gets up and starts running all over the place. That was shocking. He hardly touched him. And there's
what happened to getting booking though for simulation? I mean, that they're meant to be doing that,
exactly.
But I've not seen that happen in a long time.
Exactly, but you see the likes of Samikas who went in, won the ball cleanly, a brilliant tackle, and got booked for that.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
For winning the ball. Some mad things. Yeah. Anyway, Steve, go on to you here. So when Salah scores, why did Arm not bring Jones and Bradley on then? Instead of the last 5 minutes, aren't going to fatigue the players. I've said this, Steve, not being clever with a sub sooner when the game is won. I've said that I hope he doesn't, because he likes picking his best 11. And, it's October now. They've been playing since August. And they've been playing cup games, Champions League games, all the Premiership games. And there's now McAllister, who's got a knee injury, and he's one of our main players. My point is, I said at the time, I hope he doesn't burn them out. And that's what more or less Steve You Never Walk Alone says. What do you think, Sid?
He does love his 11. He does want to win games. But we're forgetting that he's trying to rotate, but not as much as we like him to. But I think the rotation so far so good. After Palace game, it's going to be the international break. Boy, oh boy. I hope Salah come back with his brain. Doesn't get drained over there, because whenever he goes to an international break, just remember this. He's going to be under a lot of pressure, as usual. Middle Eastern media, they always put a lot of pressure on him.
Yes,
So hopefully he comes back with his brain.
absolutely. No, I think that's a very good comment. It really is. What do you think about that, Sean? What the
Well, I
side
mean,
Salah?
I mean, I heard, I think Crouch saying that like we do have, or actually Steve McManaman saying that we do have a lot of depth in the squad, and um, I was I was on a podcast there the other day, SC Health and Fitness podcast. Obviously, we're talking about Liverpool because I've nothing to contribute to health or fitness. But it, one of the comments that was made is that Slot doesn't seem to rotate the team all that much,
No.
which is kind of worrying because of the injury problems we've had in the past. Is that going to are we going to end up paying for that? Only time will tell. It's a different kind of style football. It's a little bit slower. But
But it is worrying, Sean. No, it is worrying. And
yeah, I
as I
know
say,
it is. I am worried about it. I
look
am
at
worried about it.
look at McAllister now. How long
Yeah,
will he be out?
yeah,
It's and these are the main players, and we've got no. Well, people would say we have got replacements. That's why I wanted to bring in replacements in the summer. Now we have to bring them in if we do in the
yeah.
January.
But then there's this narrative that like, oh, we didn't need to bring in players, that we're all right with what we have, which to me
Exactly.
is a load of rubbish. I
Of course
always
it is.
believe in strengthening the squads, and looking at the squad depth. I mean, we're constantly talking about fixtures and half 12 kickoffs, and we've been plagued with injuries over the past, and the reason
Few
why
years. Yeah, yeah.
we're plagued with them is because we don't have a big enough
The
squad.
in depth. Exactly.
Yeah.
The in depth. Right. What do you think of that side about what Shauno's just said and what I've said? About the in-depth look at Liverpool. I know that some people they say, "Oh, you're moaning." Not moaning. We're just analysing. That's all.
Well, my opinion is that we do have some depth, but some depth in the squad, but not the greatest depth,
No.
especially for big games for the
Yeah.
league, right? Like if we get one injury in the midfield, I think we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
If we get a one serious long-term injury in the midfield, more than what we have already, which is Elliott, we're gonna be struggling in big games, like cup games and whatnot. Sure, we do have the depth. We can use these players, but I don't know if we get Maka. God forbid, I'm gonna knock on wood. I can't see wood. Okay, I'm gonna knock on myself that we don't get Maka or Gravenberch any injuries for God's sake.
And we don't know the extent of the injury to McAllister. We don't know the extent of it. But if he's out for a few weeks,
Yeah,
you
Maka.
see what I mean? And it's all right. You will get fans saying, well, we've got there's such a body there, and there's such a body, so we'll be all right. It's not the point. He's a class act.
Yeah.
He's a class act, as you've seen tonight. As
Mm.
you've seen tonight. So I just hope that he wasn't struggling after that particular incident. And being honest, I'll just go through a few of these. Gary Richards, tally ho, Frank, dear boy. 2-0, 12 points to play for. Liverpool will win all 12 points. Let's hope. And you know what? Here's a good one, what we can digest in a few minutes. And he's answering James, and Steve says, my mates call me at half time and at full time, saying Champions League nights of the past are gone. You know what he means by that. The feel of the crowds, the fear, the roar, the passion, the enthusiasm. That's what he's on about. Um, let's see. Jamie Max says, Crouch, they were up to his waist. A lucky man. I'm glad you said the waist there. Or you would have been banned.
Oh,
Banned from the pod forevermore. Canate walked off. He did. He did. And funny enough, it went on. I'm not walking off or anything. It was when he was playing, and I seen him holding his hamstring, the back of his thigh. And the camera went on, slot. And, this other fella who, I haven't a clue who they are now, these new fellas. And they were talking. They were talking. I just say that's all the fucking games they're playing. He's
yeah.
throwing them every fucking game. Why and Trent? Why Robbo Trent still taking corners? Yes. Both shocking. Get Matt Dom on them. Yes. Robertson can't take a corner anymore. He can't. It's always going to the first man or the second man.
Mm.
He can't take a corner. And you're so right there, Steve. You're so right, mate. And what does the panel think of Darwin tonight? Over to you side.
So when we were, I had a little headache from Darwin today. God bless his soul, man. So first thing, I was offering him my smartwatch. Maybe that will help him to time his runs a little bit better. Um, he was caught offside at least once or twice. See, when I played as a teenager, I was very stupid. And when the coach was trying to teach me how to run and to time my runs, and if I feel that I'm gonna go offside, run diagonal. Don't run like forward. Do diagonal runs, either attacking like pockets or behind defenders. Even if you're not gonna get the ball, you're gonna take a defender with you or a midfielder. Nunes is not doing that. He needs to run a little bit more diagonal, attacking these little pocket spaces. He keep running forward. It's like that's it. This is what I know. It's like almost like a horse race, right? That's why they put these things around their eyes so they just run straight. The horse races, and it's almost Nunes is running that the same way. He needs to change his game. He needs to change his runs.
Well, the thing is, I think I'm glad you said that you had a smartwatch because I've got an offside watch here, and it tells you you're offside. Don't run yet, you're offside. So I'll give him that. I'll give him that one. You give him your smart one. Go ahead, Sean.
I think they're going to call the offside rule Nunes rule. You did a Nunes.
You didn't.
Like, you see, like I'm going to be a little bit more critical of him because these are very, very basic things that he should be getting right, and because there's a communication barrier, a language barrier, a language issue, like he hasn't really learned English all that well. I'm barely able to speak it myself, but I'm not playing for Liverpool Football Club. He's not communicating with the rest of the team. He's taken his runs far too early, and he's getting himself caught offside. He's like a headless chicken, and I don't know really what he has to do between now and the end of the season, but I worry for him.
Like one of they were talking about that, that's Steve McManaman. Anyway, and he said, well, he doesn't speak English. So I want to know what in other language does offside mean? Know what I mean? Or keep on side. I want to know in every language possible, including Mandarin.
Yeah,
It just pisses me off. It really does. And he has his chance tonight, to get out there to show what he could do. And he tried. Don't get me wrong. He tried. He was everywhere. But don't you think he was easily bullied off the ball sometimes?
yeah,
Well, a few times. He was
yeah.
bullied off the ball.
And
And
I
look at
think for
this.
someone that has a price tag like that on him, or that we spent that amount of money on him, he needs to be doing far much more damage to an opposition's goal than what he's doing at the moment. He's not doing enough. He's not producing the numbers I'd like to see him produce. There was this stat that if he, took the opportunities that was available to him, he'd be, scoring more goals than Haaland. Well, I mean, that's a stupid stat. I mean, it's like if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. But the thing is he needs to take his opportunities. Sorry, Frank. Sorry.
No, you're a good Catholic boy, and you're ex-altar boy, and you're coming out with terminology.
I'm going to be banished
That's
from
a
the
nice one.
society of altar boys or something.
Well, I'm just going to go to two comments here. Yeah, two comments. And one's from James, and he says, don't say Ibu could be injured. That's one injury we don't want. Now, imagine that hamstring, and imagine a knee injury to McAllister. That's two players out. Okay, right? And Leo's goals, and he says up their heads. Slot becomes the best manager in our history to win 8 out of 9.
No. He's doing good. That's all I can say is he's doing good. He needs to prove it.
Yeah, we want him to go right through. Leo, we want him to go right through the season, only losing one. That's what we want. Losing one against Nottingham Forest. But, to call him the best now, it's a bit premature. It really is. No, I'm not having a go at you, but what you could have said, could have worded it a different way. I've never seen any manager to win 8 out of 9 games at the beginning of the season. That's what you could have said, worded it like that. Because, we go back to other managers, you see. And I want Sean knows this. Is he there? There he is.
He's having some connection issues. Oh, he's
Oh,
back.
he's back.
I've returned. I thought I was taken off for my
Curling, yes.
tourism.
Yeah. To
for
pick your name up. There was two comments there, and the last one was Slot becomes the best manager in our history to win 8 out of 9.
What are you talking about? The best manager in our history.
He's probably just talking about the record of the best start.
Yeah.
The best start in our history. Sure, I'll take that. But
yeah, I'll take that as
not
well.
yet. He has seasons to prove that.
Oh,
See,
Jesus.
we're not having Leo. We're not having a go, honestly, because we read out comments, and as I said, you should have worded it differently.
I think so.
What other manager in Liverpool history has won 8 out of 9 games? That you should have worded it like as for being the best, all because he's won 8 out of 9, he really hasn't proved anything, Leo.
Not at all.
Yeah.
He hasn't proved anything at all up to now. But, we get behind him. We want him to win, as I said, every game possible. Even just end the season by losing one game, we'll be delighted. But
I'll
to
go one
win,
further, Frank. He's put his identity to the team at the moment,
yes.
which is a far cry from what Ten Hag has done at United. He's what two years or 3 years at the club, and he can't do that. So he's he's done one better. This is the comment I wanted to comment on.
All right. Can you see all them? Yeah.
I can
Best,
see that. Yeah.
best wishes to True Reds on the chat. Just checking to see if anyone is brave enough to be a rebel red too in the fight to replace Fenway with our Liverpool way. Good night, Frank and Sean.
So let me just, if I can speak to Chris on that one. So Chris, I know you from years and years of the circuit, let's say, and I think the approach that you have is not a very productive one. It's a rather aggressive one. I don't think t-shirts and talking about challenging FSG. I don't think that's particularly a great approach. I've seen more productive approaches of young people than yourself, with the greatest of respect. I think you can come across very aggressive in your approach, and I've had run-ins with you where I got a free t-shirt off you, you sent one off to me, and then you fell out with me and were contacting the solicitor against me because I wouldn't give back the free t-shirt. So I think there's no way that we're going to have a fan ownership, and
There's no chance of that.
I've learned to accept that. I actually spoke to Supporters Direct for a solid hour, which I'd say is a damn sight more than you did, Chris. And I have to say, Chris, like, I've looked at you've been very critical of Frank. You've been very critical of me. You set up a campaign on Facebook against me. You were, very critical of Frank, which I don't think is right. I don't think you're going to win any fans doing that, personally. And I don't, looking at your website, which is basically, and again, with the greatest of respect, it's all over the place. There's absolutely no one could actually make sense of either your YouTube or your websites. And there's quite a lot of them. And there's a lot of websites using people's email addresses and recording people that they're not even aware of, which I think you shouldn't be doing. So, you can challenge fans all you like, but I haven't seen anything off you over the last number of years that would suggest that you're doing anything. I've seen more from the likes of myself, the likes of Martin, the likes of Kurdish Ball on X, the likes of Cop Connection on X, that have actually tried to do something, that have actually flown planes over Anfield saying FSG out and what have you. So, you're gonna get FSG by the short and curlies, by hitting them where it hurts, and that's publicity. You're not going to get it by fan ownership and getting a free T-shirt. It's just not going to work that way. I don't think you have a clear.
It'll never work. I've said that to Chris myself. That will never work. I
No.
just want to go. I don't know where my little pointer is. Where's my pointer?
Sorry, Frank. I know I went on a bit.
No. I'm just looking for my little pointer so I can come up with some comments. There it is. Gone right across. Anyway, hang on. Where am I? Really slow footy news. Hello all. Great win for the Reds tonight in Europe. Hoopier goal class. I'm stuck in 2005. That goal, I'm sure it was it against? No, it wasn't. That was in 2008, I think, against Arsenal. Anyway, no, that's Mac out. Mac out. Now, that's Mac. Now Karate maybe out.
Out,
Say
yeah.
I don't say that, please, please.
No kidding.
Wonderful lads, please. And Steve says, Chiesa back for next game. He just has a slight muscle niggle. Chiesa record is amazing last 3 years, injury wise.
We need to bring in. Sorry, sideline. Go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
We need to bring in players that aren't fit for the medics table. You know, I mean, we knew that he wasn't 100% match fit, but like, is he going to have more game time than Arthur Melo? I sincerely hope so. You know, I just, you know, I want to see players that come and play for Liverpool. I want to see them do well. I can see, you know, he's really anxious and really, you know, happy to be at Liverpool.
Determined to go, yeah. He's full of enthusiasm.
He's determined to go, but
with passion. Yeah.
We can't sit back and kind of be a plane to Lourdes, you know, or a medics table for these players until they get fit and then they come back, because, you know, football is relentless. The game is relentless. You know, they're not going to. These fixtures aren't going to sit and wait for these players to come in or come back fit. The fixtures aren't going to wait for, you know, Nunes to discover what the offside rule is and learn how to speak English so he can communicate with the rest of his colleagues.
That's right. Well, James, Max says, I'll go to you on this slide. Chiesa, a lovely guy, but made of Pringles.
If you say that twice, you're probably going to see my son roaming around. Oh, Pringles. He loves his Pringles. Okay, I'm going to confess here. So I'm trying my best to keep it real. I was actually against his transfer at the beginning. And I was really mad. I was really angry. And then it actually made me lose some online friendship, you know, with other YouTube streamers. It's not the transfer that we were looking for. It's not the transfer that we needed. But I changed my mind when I saw his interview. He looked very genuine and whatnot. And I said, well, what the heck? We give him a try. He's cheap, 10 million. What can go wrong, right? I hope he comes back. I love the guy, but to begin with, he was not what we needed. You could ask anyone.
I know. That's why I said, Slides, you know, that when we were getting him, I said this is an appeasement to the fans simply because we were screaming out for not replacements, but to bring in fresh blood. This is what we were saying. And when we were bringing no one in, they must have thought, hang on a minute, we've got to bring somebody in. And it goes right back to the owners. And it goes back to Hughes, by the way. It goes back to him as well. Not just saying the owners, but it goes back to Hughes. And he's going, well, all right, tell you what, well, let's bring him in to appease the fans. Hughes, Slot, any of them don't realise what we're like. We're not stupid. We are not stupid. And the sooner get that in there, the better.
But I mean, you know, we got Chiesa based on the buyout clause for Solanke. You know, it wasn't a case FSG said, "I'll go on." You know, here's a few million in their pocket here. You know, I can forget about the new yacht for Linda.
It's shocking. It really is. And I was on one pod once, and get onto this slide. You're not going to believe what I'm going to say. And I said something about, about bringing players in, by the way. This is during the window in the summer, and this is just before the season started. And I said, we really need to bring in players, and FSG have to open up. And anyway, someone else said something, and this fella came on and went, answered. Do you know what he said? FSG don't take anything out the club. The other comment you say was, they're making enough money out of us. They should be investing on the pitch. That's what he said. And this fella come on and said, FSG don't take anything from Liverpool Football Club. Have you ever heard anything so pathetic as
So
that?
They're in it for the love of football.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but doing everything for Liverpool, but not taking anything out, for the love of football, for the love of the city, for the love of the fans all over the world, for the love of everything.
But this is the problem, Frank, and this is, what I say to the likes of Chris and the likes of those who are FSG out. What needs to happen is there has to be protests, but how you deal with that, because you're going to get the big YouTube channels and you're going to get the journalists try and downplay it and try and bully you into not doing it. They'll try and kind of, make you out like as if you're some kid that plays FIFA manager and thinks that we should be buying the likes of Mbappe and Neymar and Ronaldo and Messi and all of that jazz. We need to challenge them first. We need to challenge those who told the corporate line to keep their exclusives, who think they have a God-given right to look down at other fans, say that you're not a fan, you're not a regular match goer. These people that supposedly represent the fans, the so-called supporters union that uses the good name of Shankly, and yet they don't represent the full fan owners, or they don't represent the full owner, or the full fan base. Sorry. You need to question them. You need to question them and question them good. There's no point in talking about fan ownership. That will never happen. We had that opportunity, coming to the end of Gillette and Hicks, and they decided against it. And that was it. And once you have one representative of a club representing in the supporters direct, you can't form another group. And when I was doing Fenway, we come not to pay, I questioned that. And I spoke to someone in Supporters Direct for about an hour and a half about, what I want, what I thought was best for Liverpool and what have you. And, the answer to that was, you probably get it maybe in the Championship, but you certainly wouldn't get in the Premier League, and certainly with the amount of money that's coming in now, it would be next to impossible. So, of course, FSG need to invest in the club. Will they? Absolutely not. They believe in Moneyball. They've done that with the Red Sox. Look at what the Red Sox think of John W. Henry. Look at the San Diego Padres and what they think of Tom Warner. Fire sale of 93 and the overhaul of players there. So, that's FSG are not going to change their ways, And
as you said, the Moneyball and everything else, these people are Wall Street. The Wall Street businessmen.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're not interested in things. They just see something if they can make money, and they try and buy it. They'll try and buy it so that money's coming to them. Not to you, not to me, not to their slide there, not to anybody else, but it's them. and they do a few things, and they think, "Oh, look at that, it's great."
Why were they interested? Why were they interested in Bordeaux?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
See,
And I mean, if you want to believe that FSG, that John W. Henry is so sorry about trying to form the Super League, look what he's done with the PGA and forming the the breakaway golf tournament with the Saudis. So don't tell me that he's not prepared to do that. The guy's ruthless.
Oh, he is ruthless. Well, yeah, I'll go to you, Slides, on this. Can the panel or chat tell me how many games has Salah missed during his whole time with us? It can't be more than 10 to 15 max. Is that reliable? Go ahead, Slide.
I believe it was only last season that he was missing some games. Prior
Yeah,
to last season, I don't recall him missing more than one or two games. Like one game comes to mind is the Barcelona game.
yeah.
The great
That was
comeback
for concussion, was it? Well, it wasn't. He never had concussion, but it was,
precaution.
as a precaution.
Yeah. Other than last season, the only game that comes to mind is that comeback. Him and Firmino.
Yeah,
Arguably we needed them that night, but the boys who were in the pitch, they did it. Boy, oh boy, the Salah, like he's really fit. He's very athletic. Um, he does really take care of himself. He's trying to stretch his playing years and his career, and I think he's following similar model to what Ronaldo is doing, right? So big up to him. On FSG, I just want to make one little comment. I used to have numbers, but I don't have them now, so I can't make up these numbers now. But um, FSG already made their money. A lot of people were saying FSG, they bought the club. The club was almost went bankrupt and whatnot. Yeah, that's true. And they paid some debt for the club when they first bought it. But by the way, FSG return on investment happened, I think, around 2017. They already got their money back in 2017. Every penny that they spent buying the club and paying whatever debt that they had to upfront. And they made their money back by selling the shares to LeBron James and Redbird, right? So they already made their money a long time ago. Why they're not freaking spending or even freaking spend from what the club is already making? And the club is making money, by the way.
of course we, of course we are.
Liverpool can spend. Liverpool, and I had the numbers somewhere. Liverpool can spend up to 250 million pounds this year on transfers. Zero issues with money, fair rules, or PFA,
Financial fair.
whatever rules out there. Because there's rules for the Premier League and there's rules also for the UEFA. We will not break any rules, and we will not be in any trouble. We can spend 250 million pounds now with zero issues. So
Yeah,
I don't spend any energy on FSG, whether in or out. But if you ask me, would you want different owner? Yes.
See, the only time, Slide, on this pod is when we're critical of them, like not bringing it. There's injuries there now, and we hope that they're just a little niggle and they'll be okay for the weekend. This is what we hope. But we needed fresh blood in the summer for things like this. And I'm talking about top quality players, but there was no money apparently. What we were talking, we went after Zubamendi. They wouldn't even buy him because El Presidente of Sociedad, they turned around and said, "Listen, just pay the full price. Just pay the full price, and you can have." But we wanted to negotiate installments. What's that all about? This is what annoys me about the owners. This is what's so annoying about the owners, because we could have had Zubamendi in now now. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything's all right. No, not for me, it isn't. Not for me. Hey, I'll look at this. I'll go straight to you, Sean. No, you've got to take this. You've got to take the old picture. Locals need, says James MK, locals need to be the first to get tickets. Real fans. End of story. Real fans make the atmosphere. What he's saying there, and I've been saying this for many years, like, you know, when people have criticised the atmosphere, and the only time that the atmosphere lifts is during the likes of the Champions League games and cup matches, if you know what I mean. And, you know, midweek cup matches, that is. And point is, I'm making, is that they're the fans who's got a chance of getting a ticket. Because we're not just priced out of tickets, don't get me wrong. We can't get season tickets. When a
Yeah,
season
but
ticket,
whose fault? I mean, James,
we won't
I
corporate.
take it. I take exception to what you're saying there. Real fans. So local fans are real fans.
No,
So
no, that's why, Sean, that's why I said you've got to take the bigger picture here. He's
well,
not
yeah, no,
just saying,
I do take the bigger picture, but what he's saying is locals. I'll read out what he said. Locals need to be the first to get tickets. Real
yeah,
fans.
yeah,
End of story. Real fans make the atmosphere. Now, I was at the Atalanta game when Spirit of Shankly and Spine Cop 1906 decided not to have banners in the Cop
yeah,
because of the
no,
ticket prices. And I was in the Annie Road, right? And I had a banner that I made. And there was a podcast there, actually, a member of Spirit of Shankly, and also a fairly well-known guy who I tore strips into, and he spoke to me. We had a great old chat afterwards, and we sorted it out. But his comments were something similar. Local fans need to get tickets, real fans, and the atmosphere was blamed. The bad atmosphere was blamed on what they call day trippers or tourists. Now, for me, I'm a walking advertisement of Liverpool Football Club. If you see my clothesline, you'll probably think that Li- Liverpool squads are in my house, past and present for the last 20 years. Like it's Liverpool everything, right? I if I could get cremated, if I died tomorrow, and if I could get cremated, I'd be sprinkled on Anfield. There's no two ways about it. If I could go to Anfield every weekend, I would go to Anfield every weekend, but I can't afford it because
well,
we have been priced out of it. And another thing that I want to say to you, it's season ticket holders that are selling their tickets to companies like Ticket Gum that are then charging an arm and a leg for their fellow fans to go and have a
are
day
you
trip.
sure that they're locals selling them though to them?
I'm
Because here's
fairly
my take
sure.
on it. Here's my take on what he said there.
Yeah.
I'm being honest there, and this is just my opinion. He's talking about the corporate. Don't forget what I said to you, Sean.
Mm,
I wanted to go to the Crystal Palace game, you know, last
yeah.
season, and I wanted to bring my granddaughter because she was absolutely made up, you know, with going to the Southampton game. She said, "Can I go? Can I?" Yeah. And I said to Francie, and I said, you know, go for them. And that three tickets for myself, my little granddaughter Sophia, and my daughter Francine, who's a big lad by the way, was a cost £3,060 for that. Now that's what they want. They can get 3,000, whatever it is, off someone outside, and that's the corporate thing. That's what he's going on about.
Well,
Yeah.
if that's what he's going on about, there's nobody that likes the corporate end of things because you could
Exactly,
have anyone that isn't even
exactly.
a football person that goes to these games and sits back in their corporate seats and that's it. But what I don't like, and I see on social media time in and time out, is someone with a picture of someone else, looking at their phone, or someone, with their phone on a tripod recording the game and giving out about it, or someone taking a picture of a guy with the lyrics of "You'll Never Walk Alone" or whatever songs they're singing, and giving out about that. I think if you're taking picture of a fellow Liverpool fan, you're just as bad. And I think that's where the issue is at. I think also you have a 60,000 stadium. Anfield needs to be bigger. The Cop needed to
So,
be expanded. The Cop
do you know
needed to be expanded.
when that Sean, when that first came out, the plan of the Anfield Road,
Mm,
I said that's awful. That
mm.
I think it was our kids who said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I think it looks great." I said, "No." I said, look at the stupid corners again. What's that all about? Why don't they just round it up
Yeah,
so you fit more in?"
yeah.
And they don't do it. They haven't
Yeah.
a clue. They
Well, I
must
would have
just.
what I would have done, and again, I think it would be it'd be great to even talk about, to have like even a separate show on it, but that's up to yourself. But I think what they should have done is they should have done a White Hart Lane. They should have
Yeah,
built around the stadium. They should have made the Cop the focal point. There's no way that the Cop should be the size it is, with
no,
the main stand and the Annie Road towering over it. The Kenny Dalglish stand is very uncomfortable to sit in, and
yeah,
it doesn't look great, you know.
no.
So they need to do something about that, and yeah, absolutely round it off. I don't understand the way they have it. I mean, I love Anfield; it's amazing, but when you're in the Cop and you see if you're looking at the Kenny Dalglish stand, it's like literally like this. And then when you're looking at the Annie Road in front of you, it's crazy. If you look at the main stand, it's crazy. And I mean, you see players tending to celebrate in front of the main stand now rather than the Cop, which is, the Cop should be the focal point. It should have been the stadium should have been built around making that
Around the top,
better.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think they really missed out on that. I don't know how they can. I don't see how they can change that unless they build up. I mean, they could build up, but there's not much room.
Well, the Cop, we can put a stand right, going up,
Yeah,
and then build like a tunnel, for the Breck Road there, Molten Breck Road, so that there's no disruption to the traffic or anything else. From day to day traffic, that is, not just on match days or whatever, because no traffic goes through on match days or match nights. And build a tunnel. No harm in that. They've done it in Spain, they've done it in Italy, and they could easily do it here as well.
I
And
can't see them
if
doing it.
you stand on the Cop, right, I mean on the roof, and walk towards the Kenny Dalglish stand, you'd have to step up. And you walk along, I'm talking about being on the roof, and walk along the Kenny Dalglish stand, you'd have to step up again to the Anfield Road end, and you walk along there, you'd have to step up again. It's like fucking steps.
Yeah,
It's like it's like the stairs in the house. You're walking up steps. That's what it's like. It should be exactly the same size.
mm.
Anyway, yeah, look, I've got to change out. Right over to you, Slide. James, we have replacements, but not to his caliber, and that he could be talking about McAllister here. What do you think about that? You
Yeah,
know,
we don't have replacement on the same level as McAllister.
no.
McAllister today, he actually created that goal
Yes,
before the assist from Salah. that
right.
run, attacking that zone 14 right in front of the 18 yard, pass it to Salah, and then do that freaking diagonal run that Nunes should have been doing, attacking that little pocket, inside the 18. Do a diagonal one if you're scared to be offside. But I want to say something like, I don't know if you guys want to hear my experience when it came to Anfield as an outsider, not a local fan. I don't know if you want to call me a real fan or not, but I love Liverpool. I've been watching Liverpool since '89. Uh, I paid an arm and a leg. I went and I watched 3 games for Liverpool, 2 at Anfield and one at freaking Old Trafford because I wanted to watch Liverpool versus Man United. That was in 2019. Man, oh man, it was fucking disappointing. So, Liverpool, Man United, 0-0. Liverpool, Bayern Munich, the one that cost me, I think, for me and my brother,
0-0. Yeah.
it was 0-0. It's like, fuck. I came all the way from freaking Canada. I swear to God, it cost me thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The tickets. I'm not talking about food, accommodation, the tickets.
That's the tickets.
So Liverpool Bayern Munich, it cost me almost 1,200. No, no, sorry. Hold on a second. £850 a piece.
Wow.
So me and my brother, it cost me 1,700 pounds. Liverpool Bayern Munich. It was the 16 stage or whatever. It was 0-0. Freaking Mane, that game, man, I'll never forget it. He wasted so many chances. I was sitting in Anfield Road stand. I think it was 125 or 126 section, right behind the goal. So I saw a lot of wasted chances from Mane that day. Um, but he redeemed himself in the away game, and I guess he won us that game. Anyway, the third game that I watched was Liverpool and Watford, and we battered the hell out of them 5-0. I'll never forget that. It was the experience of my life. I'll never forget it. I failed to take more pictures and videos while I was watching the game. To your point, Sean,
Mm.
the reason why, because I couldn't believe myself. I'm at freaking Anfield, man. I'm watching this. I'm
Yeah.
listening to this. I was too busy, like pick up my phone and take videos and pictures and all of that stuff while I was at the game. I took pictures
Mm.
before and after, and I've met a lot of awesome people, local people, international people. I sang my ass off. Even sometimes I ruin songs for my wife. 'Cause sometimes I can't remember words, so I make up my own words. It was funny, but it was the experience of my lifetime. I encourage anyone, whether you're local or international, go to Anfield. Now you're gonna put the money in freaking FSG pockets. I know, but what else I can do? I want to have that experience.
Well, if you were a Japanese living in Japan, the Japanese airlines have a
Yep,
special thing, for their fans,
lounge. Yeah,
and it costs exactly Angola again flying over from Japan to the side of the atmosphere. As I say, atmosphere. Anyway, the other side coming over, and that's £1,000. So they get it for a grand. They get it cheaper than us, if you know what I mean.
It's
But anyway,
crazy.
sorry.
It's no, I'm just saying it's crazy, but like when I was over at the Atalanta game, obviously we lost that game, as you well know. I saw fans leaving, the 75th minute.
oh,
I was there until the players left the pitch,
Yeah, I
you
do
know,
that.
and I put out my banner. I couldn't care less if we're losing 10-0.
Yeah,
I was there and I was getting not. I didn't look at it as I'm getting my money's worth. I'm doing this because I love this club. There's nothing like being in the Cop and hearing "You'll Never Walk Alone" played. I mean, it's just it's incredible. It's incredible. But I mean, I will not. I wouldn't have anyone tell me that I'm not a true fan, or that because I've got that a lot.
No,
Because of
I honestly, listen to me. Listen to me.
mm,
I, I go back many years, and how many people do you think I know? Liverpool fans, by the way.
I'd say you know all of them, Frank, and they know you.
I know quite a few, actually, all Scousers,
Yeah,
I'm going to surprise you there. I'm going to surprise you. And they go the game, and I go the game, and I never wear colours. And when
yeah,
you see, like, fellas in the game, at the game, with no colours on, they're Scousers. That's true.
mm,
Even our kids and his sons and a couple of grandkids, they don't wear colours. Never
mm,
do. The only time you ever wear a colour is when you get to a final, or you're going there semi-finals or whatever.
mm.
If you're going abroad, and that's it. That's a fact. You can watch some on YouTube or whatever, where you see people going to the game, and they're not in colour. You see a lot of them in colour. Don't get me wrong, but the people that you see are not in colour. Now, my granddaughter, the next game she's going, I'm buying her a top with Trent on, because she loves Trent Arnold.
Mm.
And she said, I said, just have Trent on it. She said, no, I want to see the price. I'm getting all
Yeah,
the name.
yeah,
Alexander Trent Arnold. She was on it. So anyway, she's just got a. But look, Liverpool, watching on without comment usually. But game was a sellout. UEFA rules front row seats to be empty in European Cup games. Same at every ground. Game was a sellout, because what the lads was talking about was that it wasn't, there was empty seats, and and that. And this is what Liverpool is coming up and saying.
okay.
And he's right, you know what I mean? I couldn't get it. Honestly, I wanted 3 tickets. One for Francine, one for Sophia, and one for myself. One for myself. And yeah, Edward. Apart from playing around at the back, I thought we played good. No one's arguing with that. See what I mean about that? Playing around the back. That was the only thing. But besides that, we played well, and I think he's right. And should have played Kwanzaa instead of Kanate. He'll get injured, and he should have left Jota off for the same reason. Have you heard the latest? Tommy Schmidt's the greatest. There's Hunt and St. John and Peter Thompson on Merseyside. Yeah, Roger Hunt. I love Roger Hunt. One of our greatest players, Peter Thompson, was absolutely amazing. Amazing winger. But so was Ian Callahan. St. John, Roger Hunt. And am FSG out? Yes, very true, says James Mack. Frank, a friend told me Nunes is going back to Portugal to fund Zubamendi in January, but his team will want 80 million plus after he signed new contract. That wouldn't surprise me, that.
I wouldn't surprise me either.
Wouldn't surprise me, that at all. And James is answering there. I've been FSG out since 2011. They are just investors in LFC. They ruined a WC manager in Klopp by not backing him. And,
I think Steve may have been one of my followers, or may remember me from my Fenway we come out to paydays, because that's when I started that group.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go right down because there's lots of. I want to catch up with the time. I really do, boys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry there if I'm missing you out, lads. I'm really, but you will get your chance. Believe me, you will get your chance. The likes of Leo Goals. Hey guys, what's good? Do you agree we need to renew contracts of Trent, Salah, and Bird? Yeah,
Definitely.
I think so. Yeah.
We can't afford to lose any players, for God's sake. Like we offloaded between selling and on loan, 6 of them. 6 players or 8.
Yes. And the Fosies, well, yes, I hope all as well, Frank. Not sorry, I haven't been on lately. I know you haven't been on for a while. My uniform every day says J is LFC. Live 15 minutes away and can't get a ticket.
Aye. Okay.
Jay's a friend of mine, by the way, and he can't. There's a lad.
You're 15 minutes away and you can't get a ticket. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna quit complaining then. I'm thousands of miles away, and I'm dreaming to get another ticket.
Well, let's see what Leo's goals. This lad's okay, Honestly, this is the lads who said Klopp is the best manager in history. Right? No one was. At least he just didn't leave. I was at the Liverpool 5-0 Watford game too. He says Salah scored 4 that night. Salah scored one of the best goals, didn't he? When he was just only one Egyptian king. Absolutely right there, Leo.
Amazing player.
Mighty Reds, 97, Brew, what good. Bro, what's good. Oh, the Mighty Reds, yeah, he's so concerned.
That's Brandon from South Africa.
Oh, is it? Brandon from South Africa. And Steve says, Frank, it's cheaper for me to fly. That's mad, that, isn't it? Yeah. Frank, that was funny, mate. The other side of the atmosphere. Yeah. Of course, it's the atmosphere.
We're too busy talking about atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it ends with a fear. Hemisphere, I meant to say, I'm sorry there. The other side of the atmosphere. Oh, yeah. And I'm only a PhD, so can get your words mixed up. But anyway, James says, yes, nothing like being at Anfield. I love the club. I'm a fan. But I don't go all the way to all the away games. I see that with my local team. The ones that go all the away games, they work for it, and it's their life. I know them. As I said, I always remember, I forget where it was. It was a few years ago, by the way. They took a picture, 3 of them. So the 4 fellas took a picture of the other banner. They were somewhere in Russia, and they was on the land in Russia. And a story was told, by Nessie Shankly. We played there. And so, it was Ferencváros in Hungary, Ferencváros. Anyway, It was one of the very first European games behind the Iron Curtain, as it was then. And all the lads, she said, all the players, they were all in. They were all having the cups of tea and coffee and whatever. And she said, and Bill said to me, "Come on, Nessie, let's go outside. Let's keep away from the boys." So anyway, they go outside. They're sitting at a little table. And she said, all it was a few trees on a dirt road. Just a dirt road. That's all it was. There was nothing, fanciful or anything. That's all it was, a dirt road. And Bill was drinking his coffee. And he said, this is pleasant, Nessie. And all of a sudden, she says, you see this fella walking down, no colours on, walking down like that. And he looked up and he goes, all right, Bill, we're going to stop these tonight, aren't we? And walked up. And she said, it's the first time that, Bill was gobsmacked. And she said, it's in her. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, Nessie. So you can, excuse me, you can imagine this lad walking down there, and he said, they're everywhere, Nessie. They're everywhere. Yeah. That was in there, Ferencváros, Hungary. Brilliant story. And this is what the fans are like. Honestly. I love it, Can we get Mr. Fuzzy there? Get him on for a minute. Frank, it's cheaper for me to fly to Japan, book a match day ticket in Japan, including the flight, come back to Liverpool for the match, fly back to Japan, then get home to the UK.
Well, I told you that with Champions Travel, probably shouldn't be naming these names, so I apologize. Well, not to them because I don't like them, but
that's where I bought my tickets, by the way, or at least the Bayern Munich. Yep, it was with them. The other ones were from Liverpool website themselves, the hospitality, because that's all what I can buy. But the Bayern Munich one, it was through Champions Travel.
Well, anyway. They tried to charge me. I'd already paid €345 for a day trip, and that I thought included my ticket, a ferry over, and coach. They told me in the morning of the match in Dublin Port that I didn't pay for the ferry and coach, and either I would have to make my own way or I would have to pay an extra €1,100 for a coach and a ferry to get over to Liverpool for a day trip.
Well, if you're ever coming over, if you're ever coming over, you've got to get it. Stay at my place.
I'll take you up on that. I'll take you
up on that. Honestly, come on, and you can have your own bathroom as well.
I appreciate that.
I've got a great bathroom. It's on the balcony. My bathroom is on the balcony that you can have. I've got a lovely balcony there, and and you can have your bathroom there.
I appreciate that, Frank. Thank you.
No, you can't have the bathroom on the balcony. You can't have your own bathroom.
How much is the ticket to your balcony, Frank? Don't worry, we're not gonna call you Frank SG. So no.
Yeah. If any of you ever come over, you two, you're just flying. Don't be paying for stupid hotels. Stay here with me. Honestly.
Well, I wouldn't even mind. I'm going over to Martin on Friday. His young lad is in a charity boxing fight in London on the Saturday.
Okay.
And Saturday night, I'm going into Liverpool and staying a couple of hours and then returning home on the Sunday. So,
do you want to stay at mine, or have you already booked it?
I've already booked it. Yeah. I'm in the Z Hotel.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that now. Chris would be coming up to meet me.
But the thing is, I was just thinking of eggs and sausage and beans and hash browns and things like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
you never walk alone. East Sea's family. Offer Salah a new deal. You never walk alone. Leo's goals up the Reds. These are good lads, actually. These are good lads. And let me just get onto this. Uh, here from
Sounds like
Leo Tools. Let's keep the Liverpool love. You never listen, boys. Try and to get my algorithm up there. Would you just like and subscribe? It doesn't cost nothing. It's just to get the algorithm up there. If you would, please.
it sounds like JK is on the
Oh, there
whiskey
it is. Yeah.
with the
What
ice cubes.
he said,
I'm just letting I respect people. I let them finish what they're saying. You know what I mean?
No, I can hear it. I can hear
I don't
it.
like interrupting.
you can hear the plates going. He's still in the chippy. Anyway,
Deal with the chippy eggs, man. One time it's a joke. The second time it's a piss take.
Someone said before, ages ago, JK, about an hour ago, hey, Frank, is JK still in the chippy? I said, of course he is.
They're taking the piss now, innit?
Yeah.
You need to chill. I said once is a joke, maybe twice is a joke, but the third time it's a piss take. So chill, man.
It's a pity he couldn't come on Fozzy if he's still there.
Yeah, Fozzy's good.
It's a shame. And, I think this is a cracking name. Bill Clopper, the statue. Bill Clopper, the statue.
They should at
Sounds
this
like
stage.
Italian, doesn't it? Bill Clopper, the statue. Grav look great again. Is he our biggest surprise? Yeah, not ever. I wouldn't say that. I'll go to you on that. I'll go to you on that, JK. Then I'll go to the side. Then I'll go to you, Sean. Now you've got to take this in context. Grav looked great again. Is he our biggest surprise player ever?
I would say Luis Suarez is the most surprised player for me, because when he came from Ajax, I didn't know really. No one really knew too much about the guy.
No.
And look at the guy; he was the best player in the world at one time. Even Salah, I would say, he's one of them, maybe. But for me, Gravenberch this season, definitely. I don't think he was in the first half. He wasn't great, like his usual self. You know what I mean? I think they had more of the ball in that middle of the park. But for me, second half, he looked better.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great comment, to be honest. What about you, side? You've got to look at that the way the question is, or the comment is. Grav looked great again. Is he our biggest surprise player ever?
Not ever. He was a big surprise. Maybe the biggest surprise for this season. Freaking Slot, man. Like, he unlocked him this season. But not ever. I kind of agree with JK. Like, Suarez was the biggest surprise for me. Salah a little bit, because I watched Salah when he was with Roma. So he was not really a big surprise. I wasn't surprised of his level, but surprised of how many freaking goals he scored. Grava, yeah. We're really happy to see Slot unlocking him.
Right. I'm just laughing at a couple of things. I'm going to you, Sean. Now, again, is he the biggest surprise ever?
Gravenberch isn't, no, because I mean they were when we signed him, they were talking about his potential, and obviously we didn't unlock it last season. I think I'm gonna cheat here, and I'm going to call 3 players out for being the surprise. I think Bobby Firmino. I think Sadio Mane, and I think Salah. Because I think, and I'll give my reasons why. Salah obviously didn't have a great time at Chelsea when we were meant to sign him, and so we weren't too sure how he would come back to the Premier League and whether we were kind of signing a dud. We kind of had faith that we weren't going to. Sadio, like, he was doing all right at Southampton, but we didn't expect him to do the wonders that he did when he was signed to Liverpool. Bobby, before Klopp came in, he was going to be sold. Like, they were thinking of getting rid of him. And then Klopp came in and totally changed his career altogether and was influential in that three. So that's why I go for those three.
Okay, I think that's great. Now, you know that I go right back. You know, I go right back. And the biggest surprise for me, he became, to me, one of the greatest midfield players Liverpool have ever had. And he gets mentioned, but he hardly gets mentioned. So I'm going back a while. And that player scored some of the greatest goals ever, just like big Luis Suarez, or little Louis. I love Luis Suarez. And when I talk about Luis Suarez, this is going to sound mad. But, you know, you've got to take it the way it is, what I'm going to say. Luis Suarez is the best player ever to put on a Liverpool shirt. But he never stays with us that long.
Yeah.
He could have become one of the greatest ever players, not only at Liverpool, but I'm talking about the whole. Do you know the way they talk about Georgie Best?
Yeah.
It could have been spoke about or talked about in the same vein as Georgie Best. But here's my player that gave me the biggest surprise ever. And I was at this match. I was there. And it was in 1974. And I knew that he was a Scouser. And I said, he's not bad here. He's not bad. And we signed him. And he became a revelation to us. And that was Terry McDermott. Go on YouTube and find the goals that Terry McDermott scored. He scored the finest goal in club football for me. And it was the 7th against Spurs at Edinburgh. He scored the second best goal I've ever saw in club football. And that was against Spurs. See, the first one was at Anfield. The second one was down at White Hart Lane when he was out on the wing by the 18-yard box, parallel to the 18-yard box. And he was out on the wing. The ball came through, chested it, tied it, volleyed it, goal. One of the best goals I've ever seen. So just YouTube. He's the best surprise. Yeah, well, to me. Know what I mean? So there's loads of surprises. There really are loads of surprises. And I wouldn't say Gravenberch is the best ever.
No.
I certainly wouldn't. And yeah, look here, that was before I finished. Terry Maxey, Steve.
I think James MK got it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ronnie Whelan, another. Oh yeah, James MK.
Great player.
And there's another lad, Ronnie Whelan.
Plagued with injuries, God bless him.
Now this is impossible. JK, I'm going to you. What do you think was Suarez's best goal for LFC? His goal versus Newcastle or Norwich?
For me, the Newcastle one. I love that goal.
One, I'm trying to remember it now. Yeah.
Yeah, that little chest took it around the goalkeeper and scored.
He headed
The Norwich goal.
Anthony, mention that. I'm just slotted to them. It
Top
was
goal.
all in one movement. All in one movement. That's great, that. What do you think, Slide?
Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah. Would
Yeah,
you say?
I can't argue with JK, man.
Okay. Well, it's knowledge your Newcastle as it says by you never walk alone family. That's a cracking comment, that. It's a hard one as well. Because the knowledge one, he bloody volleyed it from the halfway line. He just hit it and went zoom, an incredible goal.
I'd be inclined to go for the Norwich one, to be honest with you.
I inclined to. So, at least, between the four of us, we agree on one each.
Yeah, it's
fantastic.
Yeah, him and Coutinho are the ones that, got away, I think, in the modern history of Liverpool. But guys, I'm sorry, I really gotta go because
no, you haven't. You're going. Your cousin JK came back from the chip. It's your own thing. You're going.
The wife, you're gonna need to use the computer.
No, listen, sir, it's absolutely brilliant as usual.
Thank you so much.
And you will come on a game, won't you?
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, man.
Hey, thank you.
Looking forward to see you again, and maybe one of these days, when I save some money, come to Liverpool, I'll pay you a visit. I'll pay you a ticket for your balcony, man.
But Jay was down to Jay, talking to me. He said, I haven't seen your balcony. But that'll be great anytime, boy.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Take care, everyone.
See you, Slide.
I don't say things lightly, by the way. If I say it, I mean it. All right.
Thank you so much. That's so
You're
generous.
welcome, Slide. You're welcome. We'll see you next week or whenever you want to come on. Okay. He's a nice lad, isn't he?
He's a top guy. Yeah. I was. I watched a few of his videos. He had a match watch along. Usually we do it with AKM LFC, but unfortunately Adam has a few things going on with his family. He's got two relatives that aren't very well at the moment, so he's just looking after that. But usually we do a match along, but this week has been a bit different, so I got to kind of watch.
Well, my telly went. My telly was broke.
No.
And I had to go out and buy a new one for nearly $1,000.
Jesus.
To watch the match tonight.
Well, I managed to watch it, thankfully.
Well, but you know what? I got this fella in to fix it. And he couldn't fix it. He said, look, I'm sorry. And he had it for weeks. And you're not going to believe this. When it broke down, I said, "Oh, shut this," because I never had a telly. Never had a telly. So I went to Curry's and bought a new one, right? So anyway, when I gave the fella the telly to fix, I said to my daughter Francine, I said, "You can have that when it's when my telly's fixed." She said, "All right, don't thanks, Dad. It's cost me about $2.5 grand for tellies in the last couple of weeks. Honestly, in the last month or so, it's incredible." Anyway, the lad, when he came today, he said, "I'm sorry." He said, "I'll give you the full refund." He said, "I can't fix it." So I said, "Oh, okay, And he gave me, he wanted to give me a full refund. So I said, "No, well, you keep that and I'll take that back." And because I said, "Look, I have to get a new telly. And it can't be fixed. It can't be fixed." So I'm like over $1 grand, down.
Oh God, that's horrible.
It is, but I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back because I went and inquired and they said, yeah, bring it back. It's got a 5-year guarantee because he only got about 2 or 3 years ago. I'll be taking it back, get my money back. You know what I mean? Anyway, so the Liverpool videos, Gravenberch is the best midfielder in the world. I love our lads. I love these new lads, you know.
I think we're losing the run of ourselves there a bit.
Do you know what? I'm glad when the GOAT said that. So Bosley is my man of the match today. The guy was absolutely everywhere, plus needs a confidence boost. I made up you said that when the GOAT. Because we were talking about him. Where we were, Sean. What's that noise? Is that you there, JK?
I think it's you.
It's not me.
Yeah, it is.
Is it your TV, Frank?
Oh, it's the telly that's walking into me now.
It's your telly.
Do you know what? Honestly, I've got like a few things, few gadgets, and every one of them's on remote. And I'm talking. I've got loads of remotes. Got them all over the place. And the phone went today, and I went, oh yeah. And you know the way you swipe it across. I was because of remote.
Oh, it always happens.
Honestly. So I'm glad you said that, when the GOAT. I really am. And Cozy False 9, he says, why didn't Gakpo start tonight? Lucho was poor again. JK, what you think of that comment?
Yeah. I think it gives the opportunity for Gakpo to play Saturday now. 2 poor games sort of from Diaz. So why not? And for me, yes, Sabot-Salai, the comment before, probably his best game he's had this season. Played really good. Back time as well. I think he probably, every time we moan about the players, they all seem to like step up a few weeks later and that. Yeah. I think they must listen to our shows, you know what I mean?
What would you say to that, Sean?
About Gakpo starting.
Oh, yeah, I don't mean that one. Yeah,
or about us, we should moan more often and in the hope that the players might perform better. Like, isn't it great to have like that option where Gakpo or Diaz, is the choice? Both are good players. Obviously, Diaz didn't have a great game today. That's fine. You're going to get games like that where they're not playing. They're out of form or whatever. Szoboszlai, I'm very fond of Szoboszlai. I do think he's got great potential. He just needs, as Darwin the GOAT says, he just needs that confident boost, and hopefully he'll get it. Hopefully he'll he was saying something that he wants to have 24 goal assists.
Yeah, 24. Yeah, 24 to 25. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's a good goal to have, and hopefully he'll achieve, and hopefully he'll stick a few goals in as well. But I like him. I do like him.
I'm glad you said that because I like him as well. Because you can actually see the potential. And he's only a young fella. He's like Gravenberch, around the same age. And I think he's great himself. I really do. But he plays well tonight. He was, as the lad said, he was everywhere. He was all over that pitch. He was back in defence. He was in midfield. He was forward. See what I mean? I think he's a really good player. And yeah, you're right about a little confidence boost, and that's what the lad needs. Just like
Nunes.
It's just like it was like not Slot, Jota. Remember when he lost a bit of form? And it was, what game was it? I said, I hope he plays, to give him a bit of a confidence boost. And he ended up scoring 2. he ended up scoring 2, but I was glad he came on tonight to show that he is fit for the weekend. And who would you start on the left wing versus Palace? Lucho or Gapco?
I'll go Gapco straight away.
Hello.
Gapco.
Gapco, yeah. Who would you go for, Sean?
I didn't hear you because I got cut off. I was waving at you.
Oh, right. Well, that be yourself I'm talking to, Sean. No. But, that happened to me, you know.
I was doing a bit of curling.
No. Some lovely Irish fella. Well, that be yourself I'm talking to there, Frank. I went, yeah. So good, I know. Because he was meeting me, you see. Lovely fella. Anyway, big Red as well. He was over for the game. Who would you start? Yeah, so we're going with. I remember one versus Stoke at the top of the bin, like a Ronnie Wheel and Curly. I thought he was talking about you.
Ronnie Whelan, I mean, he scored some fantastic goals.
Yeah. There's Xabi Alonso was far better than I ever knew. So that's the surprise for him. What a player he was when he first
that
came.
partnership,
10 minutes.
That partnership with Gerrard and Torres was just, it was phenomenal.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And Steve says, I don't know. Great
I think he's talking about sideline.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Thank you. And Steve says, Frank, my mate, headbutted his new TV, paid $2,000. He was drunk, as it checked out, can't be repaired, and he's crying his eyes out. Steve.
That's what you get for headbutting your TV. What are you talking
Exactly. Well, Darwin says, like and sub people. Thank you, Darwin. And I low-key got emotional when I saw Salah score one of his old school left-footed curls.
Yeah, that's what I said straight away. I said he ain't done that in a long time.
What did you? What me and Sean have mentioned that. What did you think, JK, when you seen that fly in?
As soon as he got into the box, what happened? It sort of opened up for him. As soon as that opening came, I knew he was going to score. I just knew it. It was just the way it sort of opened up. It was just perfect for him to place it the way he did it. I love to see him do that more, you know. But for me today, he started off the game sort of playing like an assist and trying to pass all the time sort of player. He weren't going for goal shots and stuff. He was trying to get assists. And like in the first half, some of his passing was a bit here or there, you know, but he got that first assist. And I think the second half, that goal. Was it the second half he scored that goal?
Second half.
Yeah. Second half, he just killed it in. Beautiful. Good to see. I remember last week we were on about some guys were moaning, sell him in January, sell him next year. This guy just won us the bloody game. He got a goal and an assist. Like, what else can that guy do? You know? Give his wages back.
JK, it was the end of last season. Well, it wasn't the end of last season. It was coming to the end of last season too, when they were saying sell Salah.
Yeah.
Sell Salah, you know. And this is
what they're all thinking about, like the money that we get from them, and then what we can do with that money. So they're almost thinking like FSG.
Yeah,
and that's the
simple
problem.
as. Yeah,
you know,
that's what it is. They're thinking these guys getting 350, probably get 500,000 all in. You know, we could do more with them wages. We can give 3 players them wages. You know, that's how these guys are thinking. I'm thinking them 3 guys won't replace this guy. Yeah. You know, Salah is just the guy's unique. every time people try to put him down, he always gets back in there. You know, look how many goals he's got. He's got 4 goals, 4 assists in the Premier League. You know, like, come on, man. What else can this guy do? These guys don't understand football. You know, yeah, he might not be able to run as fast or whatever it was, but
I
at
can't
31,
understand why they don't like him, to be honest, JK. I just can't understand why they don't like him.
yeah, because people are like that nowadays. They've got to bloody moan. They've got to bloody hate someone. Me and 12 Man was calling it. If 12 Man's in the chat, like put that comment in. What do you call it? Begins with S. There's a word for it, you know. Scapegoat FC.
Yeah,
Scapegoat. That's the word.
yeah.
You know. I'm like, what is this world coming to, man? Like, why do you need to find a problem when there isn't one?
Exactly.
You know,
Well,
the only problem there is, I tell you the truth, the only problem there is, it was in this transfer window we just had in the summer. That was the problem. We didn't do no business. That's the problem. Don't forget anything else. You know, the players are doing 100%. You know, we're top of the league. We played 2 Champions League and won both games against Italian teams. You know, like we're at the point of football now. Enough is never enough.
Well, this one is another scapegoat. And amazed up Steve, You Never Walk Alone, said, Dom, energy levels are top tier. He runs the most distance per game, and he does. And I'm amazed up at that. I really am. And as James, no, Steve says, James MK, you will throw yourself off after you taste Frank's full English breakfast. Piss off, you cheeky guy. But I'm amazed up there. And Liverpool's Xabi. I agree about Alonso. What a player. Could Maka be our next magician in midfield, though? Yeah.
Definitely.
Listen, Liverpool's Xabi. He's brilliant. He's
big time.
Pray that he's not injured. And if he
Like
is
for me, like I heard you earlier saying that he might be injured. At the end of the day, I'd rather that happened if it was going to happen in the Palace game, and then he won't go on international duty. You know,
Yeah.
this is an excuse for him to not go on an international duty. So it's like a blessing in disguise, time wise. It could have happened 2 weeks ago. You know, it happened like now. For me, I don't really want any of our players to go on international duty. There's no need for it.
No.
You know, there's no like Van Dijk, all these guys. You know, Van Dijk's going to get played again. He's captain. You know, so for me, McAllister maybe won't be like, fit for Saturday. If he isn't, then he won't be fit enough to go on international duty.
Yeah, well, you know, it's bloody South America as well. They have to fly to South America, play football, and fly back again.
Yeah, and this goes back to the thing that Dean Sanders said on TalkSport. You know, you expect these players to be, you know, match fit coming into the season when they've done all these pre-season tours to America and Asia, and you know they literally finish playing a game, 90 minutes of a game, and then, you know, a couple of hours they're on a flight. You know, they haven't settled. You know, they're still adrenaline running in them, and you know, they just can't settle down or rest or anything like that, and all that travel is you know, I think the cause of a lot of injuries for us. But it's a sad state of affairs that, like, we're hoping that none of players play international or play for their country because we're so worried about whether they're going to be injured or not.
Well, there's a couple of comments. Which one of them said. But anyway, Liverpool's Xabi says he might not be fast, but he just has the football IQ like Busquets. He was great for Barcelona. He was fantastic, and I think you're right there. That's good thinking, that. Xabi, that's good thinking. And James MK, Liverpool's Xabi, Maka could be. Yes, we all agree about that. Get on to this one. Sure enough. Yeah. What do you guys think of Craig from up there?
The problem, and something that I will say, talking from experience, because I've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, is there's a lot of YouTube channels that are reaction based and are, as a result, are internet memes. There's a load of internet memes created as a result of their bad reaction. And I've learned the hard way. I think you really need to kind of maybe take a step back, think about what you're going to say, because I've seen fairly well-known Irish Liverpool TikTokers and YouTubers that have got themselves in a serious amount of trouble, certainly in the last week or so, with some comments that they've come out with. I've seen them, absolutely slate one player one week, and then the next week when they score a goal, praise them and love them and declare their undying love. And that's not that's not how fans should be. Craig will probably disagree with me, and that's grand. I mean, Craig, I did a pod with Craig when he was with another thing called Anfield Wolves, and he was basically kind of doing an interview, FSG in versus FSG out. And I felt that the way he did the interview, I thought it was great. That was fine. But I've seen some of his videos. I've seen some of his reactions and overreactions. I think he'll probably say to you that he probably, how would I say it? He regrets probably some of them. I'd imagine deep down he regrets some of them.
What I've seen of him. To people. He's very insulting to people. I've seen when I've been looking at him.
It goes back to our mutual friend, Frank, who is just as bad. So there's a lot of that out there. I don't really have that much dealing with Craig anymore. I kind of tune out of there are very few YouTube channels that I tune into. Let's just put it that way. And I'm very cutthroat with that. And if I remember seeing someone calling Klopp a clown, and I actually got on and I said, what you're saying, what you're doing there is disgraceful. And like their thumbnail for their YouTube video was Klopp with a clown nose and wig, and I couldn't believe what they were doing. I just couldn't. I couldn't get it. Build Klopp a statue. I wouldn't be bringing that up about Craig and his family, as that's nobody's business. I'm not saying that anyone should throw any abuse to Craig. I'm not saying that at all. But I think Craig has to be careful, the same way as I think everyone else should be careful online. And I know this because there's certain reactions that I've had towards the online abuse that I got that wasn't exactly something I'm very proud of. But when you had the amount of abuse that I had hurled at you, you reach a breaking point. But certainly, I don't have any. I don't disrespect anybody on YouTube, or I've nothing to say about Craig, good, bad, or indifferent. I would do things differently. Let's put it that way.
Well, as it says there, he was very insulting. He was insulting Salah after one bad game. And that's what I found that he was doing as well. He hasn't called Klopp as well. I'm talking about the year before last as well. I went, who is this fella? Who the fuck is this fella? You know what I mean? We don't. Look, you heard me about Dom there. When, JK and myself, JK says, well, he hasn't proved anything to me yet, but he's never slagged him off.
No.
He's never slagged him off. So we don't slag any players off. We give them that chance. I was made up to see Curtis Jones on tonight, albeit for only 4 minutes. You know what I mean? And it's this pod is all about not insults. We don't insult anybody. We don't insult anybody. We don't insult players. We criticise players if they're not pulling the weight. Put it that way. We do criticise. We criticise the owner, the owners. We criticise them and we call them out simply because they want to invest. But not one of us have said FSGO. Not one of us.
The other thing, Liverpool videos is like you're saying that he's the biggest Liverpool YouTuber. He's the biggest Irish Liverpool YouTuber, absolutely. But that's not to say that the YouTubers out there don't behave badly. I mean, I know two of the largest Liverpool YouTubers out there that I would have question marks over their behaviour online, as I'm sure they would have had me when I was on Fenway with Come Not to Pay. But it's a matter of opinion. Again, I don't wish Craig bad. I mean, I remember reaching out to him.
No one does, but you can criticise him.
Oh yeah,
as much as I want, to be honest, because I see how it's this fella.
The one thing I saw him get very upset.
But he was telling them to fuck off. That's what he was saying.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Fuck off. That's out of order. To tell anyone who's joining, like any of these lads here, on the chat. What's he saying to one of them? Fuck off. I'm meaning it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Frank. I agree with you. But I saw him very upset there on one of his videos, and I reached out to him, and I basically said, listen, if you feel that way, you should get rid of it. Get rid of your YouTube channel.
Well, he wouldn't do that because he's got a big following, hasn't he? That's ego. He's got an ego thing. But he sits there with all his fucking tattoos. Sickening that on his arms. And he's sitting there, whether it's winter or not, his sleeves up here and big tattoos. No, mate.
I don't mind his tattoos, Frank.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, he's just sitting there and he chose years ago. But, I have seen him give out some good information. He's all right, this fella. That was the first time. Then when it's, a few more like pods are very insulting to people like on here. On here. And the Liverpool video says he has like 4,500 active views from watch-alongs, which is pretty insane, yeah. Well, I wouldn't do a watch-along because I'm too busy watching the game.
Yeah, you got to watch the game, man. Life is a film, it just depends on what role you take in that film, you know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, everyone supports Liverpool. But for me, there's a code of conduct supporting Liverpool. I don't know about the other clubs like United, Arsenal. I don't think there is. But with Liverpool, there's a way you support them. One thing you don't do is badmouth the players, It's just like it's built in our DNA. Like, we've never, ever badmouthed our players, I like Curtis for me and Diaz 2 years ago. I was thinking, what are them guys up to, But like for me, I haven't really got that time and energy to really go at them and have an agenda against them. Where other people think it's this is the opportunity to have an agenda against this player. Like
that's the point. The opportunity.
Come on, man. Like all these comments like we're family and this and that. you've got to have some respect in that game, you know. We're humans at the end of the day. So when you're talking to each other, without respect, it's all a waste of bloody time. You know what I mean? We're not sitting here to be someone's fucking idiot, you know? So for me, shouting at people, commenting, it's not really not my cup of tea, you know? For me, we supported Liverpool. Remember in the old days when you used to go out and then, like, one of our players wasn't great and you'd be like, you know what? You talk to your brother or your mate who supports Liverpool, you'd be like, yeah, he ain't great, is he? Then you meet your other mates who are United and Arsenal fans, they'd be like, yeah, he's fucking all right, our player. Huh? Yeah, he's all right, he is. You know what I mean? And that's the way it was, football, them days. Now, it's like the Arsenal fans are ever going at our players, making topics about our players. United fans are doing the same. You know, is Darwin Núñez a flop? They're making shows about our fucking strikers. That's how big Liverpool are, you know. We're top of the tree in the Premier League, but also as like a shooting duck. Like for some reason, Liverpool seem to be like they all look at Liverpool with a hint of jealousy, you know. But they can't really have a go at us because there's not really anything about our players and club, bar the owners, I would say, that they can have a go at.
Yeah. Well, Bill the Cropper statue, he says, hence why I moved to Leo Gold's channel, get onto this. Because at least he's all about positivity and it uplifts me. I hope he's not down listening to us. I wonder if we've uplifted anybody. Oh, blimey, that's a cracking comment, that. Bill the Cropper. Yeah. Let's see what Lucio says. Lucio, I agree, but Craig has a massive ego. Yeah, I mentioned that. Because he has more fans than Redmen TV or Anfield Rap now. I don't like Redmen TV and I don't like Anfield Rap either.
No, neither do I.
And, you know, I'm not being funny or anything. I really don't. Anfield Rap. You know,
I thought they were a hip hop group.
Anfield Rap were very critical of are the first ones to kind of jump on the boat and be critical of fellow fans, especially those that oppose this ownership.
No.
Red Men TV have done the same thing and have had interaction with the guy that did the plane over Anfield, and a lot of nasty stuff was said that I was disappointed in hearing, because I think they have a responsibility, especially when they have such a massive platform, to not create divides within the fan base. And unfortunately, some of these channels do create a divide within the fan base, especially those that you've just mentioned.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I really am, because just let me go down just a little here. I used to follow him, but he really let me down with his racist comments recently. There you go.
He's referring to Paddy Murphy.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Paddy Murphy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologise to that Craig Golden then, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And the Liverpool video says, why do you guys not like Redmen TV or Anfield Rap?
Like, I've actually met Redmen TV. It's actually pretty, when I met them, nice guys to me. Like, respectful and stuff. Whatever they've done since that is like their choice career-wise, you know what I mean?
Well, the point is anyone can be nice to anybody.
No, you've got to be nice, but at the end of the day, it depends on which direction you go with your business, your show, whatever it is, you know? Like, for me, there's been major issues about signing a DM since Fabinho days, I'm talking about, you know, like when he was sort of struggling at the end. We haven't got a DM in since, like, we brought Endo in, you know? How many years is it now? 3 years later? Still, we're in that sort of situation.
Jenny, we never replaced Jenny. You haven't replaced him.
Yeah, we let him go on a free as well, you know what I mean? So exactly. The FSG should look after, like, letting players go on a free. Like the amount of players they've let them go on a free, you know. For me, that's the only problem I have with them as well. You know, they let guys just walk for nothing. You know,
Well, it's
madness.
with the on-field rap with me. You know, one of them. That's all, just one of them. And I'm not going to say it on here, and that's why I don't like it. It's got nothing to do with me, not about me, what he was mentioning. It was about some certain person he mentioned. And I said, oh, fuck you. I was fuming. An arsehole. He's a total arsehole, one of them. And I said, fucking follow them. I'll let you know
Yeah,
about it.
I to be honest with you, from my experience, I don't really hold them in high regard. I think they've a responsibility to report honestly. Unfortunately, I think both Anfield Rap and Redmen TV, if you look at the collaborations, they all collab with each other. They're all best buddies with James Pearce, Chris Bashcombe. I have issues with that. I think they're very biased. And I think then they're very critical of those who have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
And would be the first ones to insult fellow Liverpool fans. The stuff that I saw from the interaction between Paul Mason and Kurdish Ball, who was the guy that did the playing over Anfield, was disgraceful. And somehow Paul made out that his family were mentioned. And what Kurdish Ball actually said was, you're slating people online, but you make your money off people that tune into you online. This is what is putting food in your children's mouth. And he made out that he was bringing his kids into it, which was a complete twist. So I have an issue with them. I let them do them, and that's it. I don't tune into them. I have no interest in tuning into them at all. I just think they're very arrogant, very snide. I think they look down at everyone. I think they're the toe-the-liners. I think they get their perks from the corporate line. And therefore they don't ask the hard questions. Redmen TV tried to have a interview with Klopp under a paywall.
There you go.
Come on.
That says it all.
So that's my view on it. No offense, Paul or Chris or Anfield's Rap, but you know my views off you a long time ago.
They are Liverpool videos. Who do you think best represents the fans then?
Me. Because,
JK, yeah.
You know why? I got respect. I know even you, Frank, and even you, Sean. Like, for me, it's like, if you're going to make money out of it, do it in a respectful way. Then no one's got a problem with that. You know, when you're taking the piss out of people and not doing, like, for me, the owner's not buying players, for example, for years. These guys would never bring that up with them if they've had the opportunity to meet them and whatever they do at the stadium, you know, whoever these people are, you know, who get the opportunity to have interviews with Klopp and whatever. They won't do that. So for me, who are they actually supporting? Are they supporting the club or are they just supporting themselves? That's the problem there, you know? Like for me, if you're going to have dinner with all the world leaders tomorrow, you're not going to talk about what's your favorite color. You know what I mean? You're going to say to her, hey, listen, the world's got problems right now. We need to sort this out, this out, this out. You're going to talk business, sort of. Where these guys seem to not really do that. You know, like for me, price-wise, ticket-wise, how they've increased over the years and stuff like that. You know, football shirts, 140 a shirt now. You know, you're talking about 140 quid, 130 quid for a Liverpool shirt. So all these things have really gone more expensive and stuff. No one ever talks about them. You know?
Well, I think my pod here is good for our fans, and I'll tell you for why. It's simple. I respect I embrace every fan. I embrace them all around the country, all around. I said to that lad there before, Slides, if you never come here, you, Sean, come here,
Mm.
stay here. You don't be paying for things. That's me. I always talk about our away fans who I know. They're the best in the world. As I mentioned before, they probably took a photograph of three of them with a banner up somewhere in Russia. In the outback, they were there. I don't know where they were. They were in the middle of a field or something. I respect them. I do not ask anybody for anything. This costs me money, this. It costs me. But I wouldn't dare ask anybody for a penny. I don't have a super chat. And because you get pods, you won't even comment. They won't even comment on the chat. They go
Yeah.
on. You won't even
Yeah.
put them up. But if you
Yeah.
want to put a chat saying, "Oh, this is great," with it like a fiver or something like that, oh yeah, they put that up for about 5 seconds and take it down. I think it's shocking. So me, I'm the best. I'm not being funny because I know me. I've never asked anybody for anything. I love our fans. I embrace them. I just embrace them, no matter where they come from. I was mentioning about our Francine once, and she was up in the Annie Road stand, and the new stand now, and she was sitting in front. So it was where Enzo got injured, and he never played the game, and all these Japanese, loads of them, were all sitting in front, right away. And she said, "You know what, Dad?" She said, "Have a guess what what was on the backs of the shirt." I said, "Enzo," and she said, "No, Sabozlai." Every one of them has they must have run out of Enzo's. They got all these Sabozlai shirts. They only must have been left with the Sabozlai shirts. I thought that was hilarious. I embrace our fans. I embrace them. I read out all the comments, as many as I can.
Mm.
I really do. And you never hear me coming out and go, "Will you please like, share, and subscribe?" Like everyone else does.
Yeah, same as 12th man. He's on that same level, Like at the end of the day, reading people's comments actually makes the show, Like it's like a circus in the other shows, like comments coming left, right, and center, this, that, and the other, and you can't really get time to actually discuss certain topics, you know what I mean? It's like this guy said this guy said this, so it's not something with substance,
That's why I have the greatest respect for you guys, and what I think Adam, myself, and Martin are trying to do. Certainly
Adam's
from the
lovely lad.
and he's a top guy, but the experience that I've had on YouTube, I think what we're trying to do is there's a lot of YouTube channels that have paid subscriptions, and while we have a paid subscription, we're actually trying to give something for that to people so that they can feel involved and they can feel that it's worth it.
Yeah.
But what we're also trying to do, certainly from AKM LFC, is to get other people on from other channels and promote them.
Can I
Yeah,
go on?
absolutely. Promote. But we're trying to, instead of MAGA, I think is what we're trying to do is make Liverpool YouTube great, because there are two main channels that I think they're dumbing down the fan base. I think it's imagine having journalists all say the same thing and all have the same opinion. That makes no sense. So that's why, I'm for channels like this, Sideline, Fozzie's channel, obviously Adam's channel, which, before I got involved in, I was a follower of and I got to know Adam through Dunk, and obviously I know Martin through Fenway We Come Not to Pay because he was part of that. But we all learned our lessons from where we went wrong, and I think we're trying to give people now an option and a better option where their head isn't melted, that people can have a difference of opinion and not be insulted, because there's plenty of channels out there that do that. I have my view of James Pearce Liverpool video, and I think James Pearce has written about it enough. I don't like James Pearce. But yeah.
I'll tell you what's a good channel, Cop TV. There's two like Cop TVs, but this lad is he's got another lad on, Doyley. All as he comes out with is lad. All right, lad.
Is this the American one?
What?
Is this the American one?
No. The American one. Oh, there's two lads on the American one. Yeah, I know who you mean. And they're nice lads as well. But it's very rare that I get on to, just look at them and comment. And, I have commented and they go, "Hiya, Frank, you're okay," whatever. And, but these two lads, one of the lads, I've been on the show because when I went to game, it was bloody pouring as well. So they were outside, this pub, and they were doing a live thing,
I know the one you're talking
about. And one of them's Italian, one of them's he's an Italian, that lad Mario. Well,
yeah.
Well, just nice lads.
They are,
just nice lads. You know what I mean? And they said to me, "Get down to the pub and come live." I don't drink. I'm not going into a pub. Can't even walk, never mind. Like go down. But I think it's great. And look at the Fozy here, look. Now, why is he on there? Why isn't he here?
Don't know. Fuzzy. I thought you were talking about Cop TV.
Yeah, Cop TV.
Or Cop Talk.
Oh, yeah, look. There's the 12th man there. Night shift, look. Hang on. I've seen something. Which it was really, for the channel, actually, for the channel. And that's, you never walk alone. You're a legend, Frank. I'm so glad I found your channel. Thank you so much. You're there. Never Walk Alone family. No, I mean that, honestly. And the sideline. I'm so glad that Frank is a red.
I can see that catching on.
Yeah, there's something, boys. Hang on. When you say two main channels, do you mean Anfield Agenda and who else?
No.
No. There's a lad named Dunk, and he does a ball and briefing, but he does all these like live streams as well, and he's all right. He's all right. You know what I mean?
I stayed over with Dunk.
Did you?
In Spain. Myself and Martin. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. He's all right. He's always pissed off, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be fairly pally with him. We have kind of gone our separate ways and whatever, and he has his views and I have mine, and I respect that, and I respect his channel and the people that are on it, and that's fine. But I went over myself and Martin for his birthday, his 49th birthday last year, and that was a bit crazy. But
he's just turned 50, hasn't he?
He turned 50, yeah. So it was a year ago when we were over.
Well, I was going to say to him, because, and I went, no, I'll leave it. He was he went a few months ago. He came over to not to Liverpool, to Birmingham. Then he came again to Birmingham. Then he came. Then he said, "I'm going to Birmingham," and I was going to say to him, "You've been over a few times to England, yet you've never been up to Liverpool to watch a game." So I thought that sounds like sour grapes. So I just left it. But I think he's all right, what I mean. Anyway, do you think he's reliable now? I don't know. James Pearce.
No.
Also, what do you think of James Pearce?
I spoke to James Pearce about net spend.
Yeah.
And when Liverpool won a game, his tweet was, "What happened to the net spend boys tonight?" As if to say a Liverpool fan wouldn't be celebrating a win because they questioned the owners. And last year, he was talking about the net spend being so low. So who's the journalist and who's the YouTuber?
Yeah, well, I went down. I was asked to go to a function, and I had a delivery that day, right? So, and it was a very important delivery for me. So anyway, my grandson James and my daughter Francine said, "I'll come down with us, Dad." And George Sefton was down there. There was loads of people who I knew and whatever. So I went, okay. So I went down, and James was there, James Pearce. And I said to him, "Do you fancy coming on my show?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "You're not just saying that because I'm talking to you now, and when I walk away, you'll go." And he went, "No, come on, that's great." I said, "Okay, thank you." He said, "What will you talk about?" I said, "Everything." I said, "We'll talk about the owners, we'll talk about players, we'll talk about club, we'll talk about, the fans themselves, and we'll talk about the diverse as well, of how the owners have split the fan base down. There's some for them, there's some against them. So we'll talk about that if you don't mind." And he went, "Sure." When I went, a good friend of mine, no names, got hold of me. He said, "Frank," he says, "you're fucking joking, aren't you? You never know on." But you were talking, because he was talking to them, you see.
Yeah.
Fucking want me to go on and talk about it. Never came up.
No, he wouldn't, because he's partly responsible for dividing the fan base with those sort of tweets and what have you. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan true and true, and of course I'll celebrate when we win. I won't be too happy when we lose. Be disappointed when we draw, regardless of who the owners are. I differentiate, I separate the owners and the support for the club I love. That's the difference.
Brilliant, because that's me and JK. What you just said there. We separate. We criticise.
Yeah.
But we separate, if you know what I mean. There is some lads on there who like, FSG. They've done all right. But the majority of them don't like them. The owners I'm talking about. You see what I mean? So
yeah, but James Pearce will insult you the same way as Chris Bashcombe. Chris Bashcombe put out a tweet there last year talking about Olympic crying because we didn't sign a player. He also, who else was there? I can't think of the guy, but he's on Born Red or Blood Red podcast.
Yeah.
Liverpool Echo.
Yeah.
Or I called them the Fenway Echo. And he was annoyed because there were fans hating on FSG, and that everyone that hates FSG want the club run like Chelsea and Man United. Now, I don't know any fan that would want the club run like Man United or Chelsea. So It's ridiculous.
But you know, Man United with the Glazers, excuse me, with Man United and the Glazers gave the manager money to buy. That's the big difference. Our owners don't.
No.
They don't. And Sideline says, just got my wife and brother subbing to fly. Thanks. That's it. You only want to come on again, I know you. They come on anytime. Even if any of the lads on here, you know, if you ever want to come on, people, just let me know and we'll get in touch. But you've got to give us your email and that, and the producer of the show will get you on, no problem. That's genuine now. And as the Sideline says, it's a circus at Man United and Chelsea. Of course it is.
Absolutely.
And then Paul Joyce on his channel. Who's that? What channel's that?
I think he's referring to Born Red.
Oh, Born Red. Okay. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, look. Spot on, Sean the Dog. Spot on. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, Born Red. Show. What do you think of Born Red channel? With I've never seen it.
No, neither have I.
I've never seen it, honestly. Ever. There's a fella, I'll finish on this, boys. There's a fella, he's a foreigner, and he does it from wherever he lives. And he's got the accent. Hello there, and his name was Tom. Have you ever seen him?
I think he's the guy that is anti-FSG and that sorted out the plane with Kurdish ball. So yeah.
Oh, blimey! And according to him, we're signing everybody. I've got
that's not him.
to sign Mbappe. Mbappe is coming to Liverpool. I'm going like that. Other fellas crackers.
But you see, there's a lot of clickbait now out there, and with X now and Elon Musk, if you get reactions to a mad tweet, you get paid, you get more money. So it almost pays to. I mean, that Indy Kalia on X is making an absolute bomb out of talking rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know the way like Lucio says, Lucio Maggi, he goes to a lot of games at Anfield. People forget, I got told to go and support another club once.
Me too.
You don't know what, you don't know what you're talking about. And, these people are telling me to go and support another club because I criticised, what was it? I forget what it was, but it was only on Facebook, I forget what it was. I think it was about Jenny. And I said, why didn't he give Jenny a contract? We're going to miss him. We won't be signing anyone. That'll be the last of him. And we won't be signing anyone. And I was called for it. Of course we will. He's going to be replaced. There's things in the backgrounds and still haven't signed anyone to replace Jenny.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I get so go and support another club. I was called a plastic fan.
Yeah, I got that a lot.
Me, a fucking plastic fan. And I thought, gee, pricks. It's 12, it's after 12 I can say all these things now.
You're outside the wall.
This is in January now, though, not right now. This is in January now, though, not right now. I don't know what that is. I must be like signing somebody. I don't think we'll be signing anybody.
That's Super Monday.
The Liverpool videos. and got like 8 million views on that. Imagine. Well, listen. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, did you hear Craig says we might get Zubamendi? We're with Craig, and I called him out on it. He said about it. I said for 18 months you'd be saying, because I was used to just pop in. And it was, about Jude. Jude is coming to us. He's coming. I know he's coming. Don't be. And, Madrid were after him, Bayern were after him, and Chelsea and everyone were after him. No, they're coming to us. And I said to him, he's not coming here. There's no way Liverpool will pay out between 80 and 100 million pounds for him. Anyone. And you don't know what you got. Excuse me, he got back to me. And he said, you don't know what you're talking about. I know, I'm an insider. And he knows an insider. I said, you know. I said, you know nobody. Nobody.
He's no more an insider.
I know, I said, I know more insiders than you'll ever know. And he's not coming in. And anyway, when he didn't come and he went to Real Madrid, I got on to him. And I went, yeah, but remember me saying that we wouldn't get on you for 18 months for saying that there's nowhere else he's going, and wouldn't answer it.
I bet.
Oh, that was it. Phony. And James Max says, same here, I got eaten for being too negative about FSG. I was told, do you know FSG? Oh, I hate that.
No,
I left them said good night. Yeah, I hate that. These people who say FSG saved us haven't a fucking clue. They haven't
like they say Bordeaux.
Yeah. They haven't a clue, honestly.
No.
I was talking to a banker, and they turned around and said, "You've only got to ask the Royal Bank of Scotland if Liverpool was to go under." And they said, "There's more clubs out there in the Premiership that would be like the Titanic than Liverpool going under." That's true. That's what he said. You've only got to ask them. And they were to be made up if Liverpool was have had another year of not selling because they were to get all the, the cash in for Liverpool.
I said this about 13 years ago, Frank.
Yeah. It shows you, doesn't it? It just shows you, Sean. And, as I said, when you get told or when you're seeing those things by saying they saved us and look what they've done for us. Well, I'm going to shut shop. I've just got to thank all of the chat. Thank you so much. You've made it tonight. And I'm on again, when is it? Thursday night. No, it's Wednesday night. It's Thursday. Tomorrow. I'm on tomorrow night as well. So we can carry off with this. We can carry on with this if anyone's up for it. Thank you so much. You're all good people. Love you all.
Frank.
And Sean, I'll come on anytime, come on tomorrow.
I will do.
Please, and try and get Adam on.
I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, Adam has a lot of stuff going on with his family, so I don't think he'll be on for a while. So
okay.
But I'll certainly say it to him.
Welcome. That's James. Thank you. And JK, if he's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still there. He's saying no.
No, I was just listening to about the owners and the situation of fans nowadays. What they're up to and that is just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just shows you like the mental state of humanity. Love people talking bullshit. They'll actually pay them to talk bullshit. You know what I mean? That's the funny side of it all, and that's the world we live in. So for me, like, forget about it, man.
But as long as our pod's okay. People are liking it. That's all. That's all that I'm. That's all that I'm interested in. And
Who was we didn't even ask who like the man of match was for you guys.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you my man of the match. Gravenberch.
Okay.
Who was yours, Jay?
For me, Sabotolo.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon he just played good today. Like he showed a little bit more.
I thought he was great.
He was good.
Who was yours, Sean?
I think because of the assist and the goal, I'd have to go with Salah.
So, yeah, look at that. I think that's brilliant. That because JK says Sabos, I say Grav, you say Mo. Do you see what I mean about? I'm not saying diversity, diverse about it, but
difference of opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, because they're catching.
I'm not gonna really like take the piss out of each other, saying, what are you choosing him for? I'm like, bro, that's your choice. Fair play to you. Like you've seen something in that part, and so it's good.
I think that's brilliant. And I look at the sideline, McAllister, right? And James, okay, mine was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was dumb. So, I think it's great that I'm just made up that Dominic Szoboszlai is being recognised. I really do. Honestly, I really do. And they even recognised them on the chat. You know that they recognised them on that chat. And as James MK said as well, mine was dumb. JK said it was dumb. And JK, and I mentioned this before you came on, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I said, JK even said that Szoboszlai has to prove himself. And look what he said tonight, that he was man of the match.
There you go.
And look, the sideline, Tom had a really good game. I am happy for him. That's lovely, that. And I'm happy for him. Sean was happy for him. And so was JK and James. Everybody, thank you so much. JK, thanks, mate, for getting yourself home and coming on. Sean,
thank you again, guys.
No, it's been great. And I'll see you all tomorrow night.
You'll see us.
Carry on again.